Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on. Extra bumpy, extra loose. Retro style points. So it's going to be a good time. Every Thursday at 8:25 we will be live on YouTube and Twitch under the BNR Broadcasting Network. We have a lot of familiar faces in the field tonight, some new. So we'd like to thank all the new ones coming out here tonight. Who will put a show on for sure. We'll go over the little race information here while they go ahead and finesse around here a little bit. So, as you see here, they're at Daytona. Might as well say 2.5 miles. The current track temperature is 72 degrees. The weather itself is 65 degrees, 45% humidity, partly cloudy with a 3-mile-per-hour wind. Like I said before, 60 laps, 150 miles, 70% fuel, 4 sets of tires, 1 quick fix. But I think next week we're going to do quick fixes for these guys. So, retro style points, as I said before, retro style lineups. So, lap cars to the outside and, lap cars to the inside, lead lap cars to the outside. So, retro style. I'm waiting for my other broadcast partner to get in here whenever he decides to get in here. But the wonderful Daytona, like I said, we got Brock Page. He's familiarized with BNR. Tiller, Stipe, Sanchez, Smalls, Bradford, Campbell. A lot of our Cup guys coming over here to hang out with and do some 87 side of things. Mr. Jacob Carter too as well. Sorry for those who I'm missing. So we're going to try our best to put on a great show for you guys and bring you guys the action up front. So keep you guys locked in on your feet. Feel free to communicate in chat. We'll do our best to answer the best we can. So, I'd like to communicate with our fans who are watching. So you see there Jaden moved up to P4. P2 will be Brock, P3 will be Joe, P4 will be Jaden, P5 will be Huck, P6 will be Paul, P7 will be John, P8 will be Robert, P9 will be Philip Bridgman, P10 will be Jacob Carter, P11 will be Justin, P12 will be Josh, P13 will be JD, P14 will be Aaron Bradford, P15 will be Chris Campbell, P16 will be Kyle Gooden, and P17 will be Craig. So, well, we have 17 at this current time. So, what's up, Brock? Thanks for tuning in to the chat. Yes, Will, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, 17 competitors, 17 drivers out here this evening. We all got, looks like pretty much everybody is in a General Motors spec vehicle, it looks like. I don't see really any Ford takers. I might be wrong.
I think I can change that. Let's see. There you go. There's your logo. Chevy, Buick, Buick, Chevy, Buick, Chevy, 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 Buick, Buick, Ford, Chevy, Chevy, Buick. I think Pontiac, and then a Chevy.
Okay, so Josh is in a Ford.
So, Will, what's going to be the biggest key here tonight with these 87 cars, and what's going to be the strategy for these drivers behind the wheel here tonight?
Well, try to stay in the draft as much as possible to try to stay in contention. This track, old Daytona here, as far as old Daytona, this is before the repave, so 2009ish, 2010, 11 era Daytona. So it's pretty bumpy. It's got a lot more characteristics. You got to play with the throttle. A lot of throttle playing with tonight. You're not just going to be full throttle around here. So you got to take that into consideration there. Fuel window here this evening, got told 24 laps this evening, anywhere between 24 to 28 laps, so maybe even look to see to pit a couple of laps before lap 24. You never can tell here. So, yeah, bumpy surface, so that means we're going to be playing with the throttle a lot into the corner, even throughout the corner, so probably see the outside lane be a bit dominant, I would suspect, if you get. So, in a way, as to be expected, everybody kind of jumping in line, trying to follow that toe from the car in front. Look at that. That run by the 48 of Richards there.
Yeah. Rough surface, Will, as we said. There's going to be a lot of loosey-goosey. Jaden makes the pass on Peter there. Jaden is taking P2 away from him. You have Brock Page, Jacob Carter trying to work the outside lane there, but they are going to fall back to the inside, Will. As Jaden tries to come down, but there is no clear passageway for him to come down. If I'm Jaden, I'm going to stay up there with Brock Page and Jacob Carter. As the 48 High Rock machine there, Chevy, looking to hang strong side by side with Jaden Sanchez. You see the 33s up on the wall, doing the best to stay out of everybody's way. Just like that. Good job by the 33 of Joe Stipe as they complete lap 3, Will.
Yeah, going around, like I said, the outside looks to be best, trying to make passes, going around that outside. It's not probably going to be as bumpy. Car in the wall there.
There's Jacob Carter.
Oh!
And he flipped.
Go over.
Car upside down.
He's still on his roof, sliding down the back straightaway. Caution probably should be out.
Yep, it is. So first caution of the night here.
Unfortunately, wasn't able to get back righted. So
we're going to ride on board with Jacob
I
here.
think he just got arrow tight coming out of the corner. Might have to rewind that a little bit further back because he does make contact, Brian, coming up out of the corner. I think he washes up the track right in the center of the corner.
So as you see here, like I do our little slow motion
and
that was the best.
Yeah, he's just going to get very tight behind the car in front of him. As the car in front get very tight behind the car in front of him. As the car in front of him is, I'm in the air, you know. I'm upside down.
We're going to go ahead and talk to Jaden real quick. Sanchez, you got a copy?
Yeah. What's up?
How's it going, sir?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right, so after these first few laps here, 3 laps, before we had a wicked blowover in the back there, how is that 3-car Chevy machine handling for you in the draft?
That's all right. I mean, I don't know. We've only ran like 3 laps, so I'm not really sure, to be fair, but I kind of don't want to experiment with that. Kind of just want to stay in front and keep this, number 3 Chevy clean. So,
Right, sir. Well, you do got the front row seat here, so. Well, you got anything for Jaden?
It looks like the high side is more controllable. Is that the case there, Jaden? You're able to keep carrying that speed. You're not able to lift as much, so maybe, that high side might be the way to go tonight?
honestly, probably the middle, honestly. Protect both lanes. Because, if you run the top, you're more... you're more eager to hit the wall, and if you run the bottom, you're just flat out killing your tires. So the middle is kind of like, where you want to be.
Alright.
Right.
Get lined up on the outside. It's not inside. Outside.
Oh, it's not telling me anything. It's telling me just stay behind this car.
Yeah, but you guys will be lining up on the outside in case there's any lap cars. But best of luck to you guys. So once you move up,
Copy that.
they'll follow you. So best of luck to you, sir.
Cool.
So as we said, retro style lineups, you can never go wrong with that. A lot of these guys ain't familiarized with it, so let's see how well they do. And yes, these laps do count under caution, so that's always a good thing. So we won't have any.
We still have the lucky dog rule?
No, they got to earn their way.
Okay, good. So literal, classic, throwback rules. We were, I guess, going to talk more or discuss more about the if we would just let lap down cars get it back, but I guess those discussions weren't talked more with, but that's okay. Yeah, looks like Jacob coming up to get there to the inside. Like you said, he is the 1 lap down of the 17-car field. Had to get the tow back to pit road and more than likely use that quick repair.
Yep. As pace car's going to peel off.
I was going to say 1 quick repair here in the 87 series, so...
But that was being discussed. We'll probably go to 2 quick repairs next time. Green flag is out, Will, as Jaden gets a great start there with Brock behind him and Peter behind him. So... Oh, wicked crash back there. Oh, and a blowover from the 48.
So, more carnage here. Didn't even get into turn 1 properly.
We gotta go back a little bit. So as we see here, checked up for the 94. Going into 1. 18 just carried enough steam there and just ran over the 48 as the 48 gets up on 2 wheels and continues the joyride back to the pits there, Will.
And just looked like a bit of an accordion, some drivers trying to get a good turn into the corner. So one driver, just kind of lifting, another, also that contact on the straightaway. They were fighting over that real estate there, and initial pinch into the wall. So not sure initially what happened in front going into turn 1, if there could have been some mind games being played or what could have been transpiring between the 48 and '94 machine, but nevertheless, yeah, like you said, the 18 just kind of ran over the 48. But like I said, don't know what was transpiring in front of him. It just looked like one of those accordion things, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, once you get those accordion effects, that's it. So.
oh yeah, it can happen at any track. It's liable to happen on these restarts. These, you know.
Oh, maybe I did. Ooh, maybe I did allow lap cars to get the lap back. Huh. So there you go. Carter will be back on the lead lap.
I know we were talking about it. I can't remember what we finalized on, or what we agreed on, or
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just remember talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
All the different things we were talking about
Oh yeah.
with the series and whatnot we were going to do, just for it being like a fun series to run. Have something to do in the winter, during the time off season.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if we can talk to Kyle here. Mr. Gooden.
Sir!
How's it going, sir?
Man, it is going well. Just kind of trying to log laps.
Well, I see you're driving a Pontiac. How's that Pontiac handling at the moment?
It's a little bit different. Not really used to something old school like this, so it's a challenge.
Yes, sir. A lot of wheeling and dealing in these machines here. A lot different from the trucks that you're used to driving, for sure. Yes, Jaden. Well, we were trying to make it a little fair with it being in the off season, give these guys their laps back. But anyway, Will, you got anything for Mr. Kyle here?
Well, I know it's kind of opening laps here, Kyle. We've had a breeding caution moment here, unfortunately. But kind of what's the game plan or the mentality like? You think in this race, Kyle?
Really, it's survival because it's something new for everybody right now. There's a lot of people in here who've never even been in these cars before, so just surviving until later on in the race, then it'll start pretty much picking up for business. Once you get around maybe 10 to 15 to go, you'll start seeing guys start shaking it.
And like you said, someone that doesn't really drive these cars that much, like you're kind of getting into them. Allude just kind of how much of a handle they can be.
It's pretty wild because you're not used to how much it, like, the whole catch-up is in the draft. It just flies up to people. And if you're not used to it, that's one thing that's a big deal. And then going into the corners, it being old Daytona, it's real bumpy, so it really upsets the car a lot. Makes it kind of loose throughout the whole corner, so you're kind of counter-steering slightly.
Well, hopefully you will be able to survive, Kyle, and hopefully we can be talking to you at the end of this thing. Best
yes, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem. You have yourself a good race there, Chief.
Appreciate it, bud.
No problem. Alright, Will, we're going to get back up here to the front as they come and take a restart again. There's the 42 Copenhagen, as I mentioned to you before. So, like I said, a lot of these guys ain't used to the old retro style lineups, but it's a learning curve for most, absolutely. But we can work the kinks with that and go from there. Oh,
it happened again.
Yep, there it is.
I think that kind of a case of just bringing the field down to just a slow pace, possibly.
Yep. There was a stack up there with on the start there.
Yeah, I think think you just saw drivers in a bit, trying to time the start, and just a mixture of bringing the field, maybe backing the field off just a tad bit and then going. That could have been what we saw, but also just drivers trying to time it. And
that's what it is. They're trying to time it and go from there. As you saw there, to stack up, so restarts are going to be a key here. Getting those restarts jotted down. As I try to say, try to give some space in between the cars. Don't be literally up the rear. So they'll get it. I know it's, like I said, it's a learning curve for most. But Sanchez is still in the front here, so they'll get it. I'm fully aware that they can get it unraveled here and get it together and start ticking down the laps.
oh, no doubt, it restarts can just be very tricky. It doesn't matter what series, what car you're in, and then just also just these cars can carry a lot of horsepower. You can slip the tire. That can also come into play sometimes in those types of stack up / accordion effects of just not able to